And that's what you work towards. You work towards achieving said purpose, said goal. And not everyone has to understand it. It wasn't meant for them. The purpose that you wanted was for you. So when you have your mind set on something and someone is critical of it, let them. It has nothing to do with them. They don't know your powers. They don't know what you're capable of. Your fears don't even know what you're capable of.
Roll me, Mac.
Surprising thing you learned about yourself, how not important I am. Now, don't get me wrong, like I'm valued, I'm enough, all the, all the things that we are to know true from the soul. But just learning how not important you are in a sense of people project and just realizing to what depth of that importance that I am not, and grateful for it, really, because when people have an idea, right, a lot of times looking for validation, they will project such. Hell, one can even surmise that I'm doing the same shit, as far as with each episode, trying to project what I've been learning, my beliefs on whatever, you know what I mean? But just remembering to know that you're not that important, and in a sense, and that's okay. Like the relief that it gives, knowing that you're not that important, that you were not supposed to take that personal. You were not supposed to make it about you. You were supposed to just be and be indifferent. Rather, I think that's probably the best way to put it, is to remain indifferent when someone sees you as a reflection, as a mirror for whatever they're going through, and they like to again project whatever it is that they're going through at the time onto you. And as long as you don't make it about you, you'll be okay. And not to be triggered, not to allow yourself to go back in time. And that's pretty much what trigger is. A trigger is a time traveler button inside your body. When you go back to the past and something where you did not have control before, you did not conquer that situation, now you're trapped in that body and you're making the very same, your body's kept score, so now you're back in that same position that you once were, where you wanted to make a better choice, perhaps. And then your nervous system goes into a way that really gets you caught up in that moment of a conquered battle. Like literally just going back in time and trying to fight a battle in the present day that you already did. Just imagine going back to kindergarten trying to, pick a fight with the kid that bullied you. What good would it do to you now? And I equate that to a lot of times when some of us get triggered. At least I'll speak for me. When I get triggered, trying to go back and fight old battles, it's no longer relevant. I wasn't important then. Just somebody was sleepwalking. And I just so happened to be in the middle of that dream. And that's really all it was, is just indifference, remembering to be indifferent about things, and but have strong boundaries, be sure to have strong boundaries though. What I'm saying, when dealing with such, either remove yourself from it altogether, or be able to, like I said, just have a strong boundary and not allowing something to get to you. We determine what gets to us. Our attention, our response to something gives whatever that person, that thing, power. So it's just like remembering what to respond to. Do we want to do it? Is it worth your time? And how important am I to this thing? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to say I've surprisingly learned, is like to the degree of how not important I am with a lot of things that come up, people you just meet, you didn't know, and for you to share your thoughts with them, and then for them to feel a certain way about you sharing thoughts with them that have nothing to do with them. You don't even make it, nothing you're saying is about them, but for them to take it personal, for them to take it seriously. But also remember times when you've done the same, where someone has said something to you and you took it personal, you made it about you. And it's just remembering to have grace with those individuals who do such, because you don't know what everyone is going through. They're battling something bigger than which is why it's important to practice that kindness at the same time, have the boundaries to get the fuck away from the unhappy and the unlucky at a moment's notice type thing. But definitely remembering how not important that I am to whatever I'm trying to take personal. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. And just remembering to be in the present moment. I aim to do so, obviously, on a daily basis. But as far as like that surprise go, it's just being in moments that are sent there to get a reaction out of you. And then you remember it has nothing to do with you. And maintain your peace, protect your peace, remain in that peace. Remain in that peace so much, it may piss others off because you're unbothered and indifferent when dealing with the matrix, the life of the matrix. The matrix will try to pull you into some shit to keep you distracted, to get your emotions up in arms. And all you have to do is just sit there and be still. You'd be stoic, you be, indifferent. And it doesn't mean you don't have emotions. It's just recognizing not to act on those emotions. Feel it, recognize, oh, okay, this is what I feel, but I don't have to act on it. It's a choice. Each emotion is a choice. Anger is a choice response. Happiness is a choice response. Sadness is a choice response. All of this, we're choosing to do that, So it's just remembering in those moments not to allow yourself to go back to being a 5-year-old, the wounded inner child, And, sometimes you get caught up. You really do. You can get caught up in this life, man. And challenges that get thrown at you, things that are, happen all at once. And you can forget all the lessons, all the tools that you've acquired to actually manage this situation in particular. But it's just to remember how not important you are, like in the sense that nothing anyone does is about you. And like I said, I'm not able to thank Don Miguel Ruiz enough, man, for that information that he shared with me, and to let people be. And I'll give that to Mel Robbins with the let them theory. Let them do what they want to do. They don't have shit to do with you. Just kind of, just relax, right? Just kind of sit. Imagine that this thing is all happening in slow motion, right? And letting those emotions, those strong emotions come in, and then usher them out the back door. And don't let them remain in your head. and just be, really, like literally just be at peace, if you will. Remain in control of you. Don't try to control anyone else, because you're going to fail. But remain in control of what you can do, and having that peace, it is an amazing feeling. And that's what most recently surprised me, is recognizing how not important that I am to that situation. And you can get caught up within your ego, attached to your ego on a lot of things, and you want to be recognized for something stemming from from your childhood, feeling like not seen or heard or neglected. But it's not really that important, man. It's not really that important, and whether or not you be seen by anybody else outside of you. And that's the beauty of it. Like, there's no voice greater than yourself. Why would you want to give somebody that type of power over you? And at times we forget that, because we're trapped into our child mind, or we're trapped into our wounded inner child, and they drive. But when you're an adult, you don't require that outside validation, man. You don't. I mean, it's nice to have, don't get me wrong. It feels good if somebody could see something, but you got to treat praise and criticism the same way. You know what I'm saying? If you live for the cheers, you will die by the boos. And it's just remembering that your voice is the sole one that matters. How you see yourself ultimately is going to reflect in how it comes out. If you are basing your character, how you feel about yourself, about how other people feel about you, you are going to be in shambles throughout life, because people change. People switch up on you. One minute they love you, the next they hate you. You have time to keep up with that. This person might love you. Next person, the person next to them may hate you. And then flip-flop, you know what I'm saying? Flip-flop is the shit, as John Witherspoon says in Vampire in Brooklyn. But, like, just remember to make sure that your voice is the most powerful one inside you. Be close with your soul. Be in tune with your soul. And block out the noise. It can get very noisy, especially with social media. Social media can make it very noisy inside your mind, but to be able to sit still, be at peace, and connect with yourself, you will learn how not important you are in that manner. What makes you feel like a man? What makes me feel like a man is living on my own terms, really. Nothing to where it's like I got a beer in my hand, scratching my balls, like, Al Bundy, to coin a phrase or anything like that. But really just being able to live on my own terms, and to live by my own belief of what I want to do with my life, and being able to stand on that when it gets challenged by what someone else may feel they feel like I should do, or this is the right thing, or you're living wrong, or what have you. And being able to stand on that regardless of who stays and who goes. That's what makes me feel like, like a man. And it also teaches me unconditional love for self too, because if you're only rocking with me based off of, if I do what you want me to do, and I don't, and then you leave, you were never there for me anyway. So I try to keep that principle in mind, especially when you grew up with a fear of abandonment, and still changing the story from it being fear of abandonment to remembering that it was never about you. Those people that left, it was nothing to do with you. It was all about what they had going on. But makes you feel like a man. Earning respect feels like a man when you stand on your word about something, when you carry yourself in a way that is a man, in situations, being able to be calm in chaos, I think is one way of kind of feeling, I would say for me, feeling like a man, to to learn what stoicism meant and then to practice it in real life, and seeing those things come to pass, it is eye-opening. It's it's like I said, I enjoy that feeling of being able to be like, all right, I'm gonna deal with this thing however it transpires, despite the fear, because I'm scared as hell. But we're going to do it whether we're scared or not, type thing. And having to, sometimes having to being the only one that believes in the decision that you're going to do. I believe that makes me feel like, makes me feel like a man. To build that unapologetic confidence in oneself, and not trying to believe you're better than anybody else, but just more so just staying right where you are, not focused on anybody, not comparing yourself to others, just staying and focusing on you. I believe that really does make me, that makes me feel like a man. Being trusted to lead, definitely that, I would say that being trusted to lead, that's a great feeling to feel like a man too. But obviously it's not relied upon that, because my skills of leading would be there whether that that person believed in me or not. It is appreciative when one does allow trust a man to lead, and knowing that he can do it, and let him deal with the challenge moving forward. Feeling like a man is being able to own your own everything, like being able to have your own place, have your own car, have your own, your job, you own your own money. You don't have to rely upon someone else for your survival. To me is what makes me feel like a man. And knowing that the only thing that a person can really provide for me is their time and their presence, that to me makes me feel like a man. I'm not hanging out with you because I want this, you know what I mean? I'm hanging out with you because I enjoy your presence. I enjoy, learning your mind. I enjoy learning what you're into, those types of things, like that to me is what honestly makes me feel like a man. I want nothing from you. And also being able to provide for valued members of, like your tribe, your friends. That to me does make me feel like, does make me feel like a man, that I can be there for that. And of course, you can attach that to like a lot of those things can be attached to like with the ego. Yeah, regardless of all those things, I'm still looked at as a man. I might not act like one, but I'm still looked at as a man just for sheer notion of age, size, what have you. I'm still considered a man. So a lot of those things, yeah, it's definitely tied to that. I'll say to the ego in a little bit on things, but it's just recognizing what does make you feel good. So there are aspects of the ego that, like I said, come in handy as far as like giving you that feel good feeling, but it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to get to a toxic level. It doesn't have to get to a detrimental level for yourself with that ego and wanting to feel like a man, like doing things that cause harm to others to ensure that you feel like a man. Is that to me where it's getting out of control, something like that. Knowing that you took the day and you poured it on is another thing that makes me feel like a man, as far as like taking it to the max, putting in that effort each day and doing the best you could with the situation that you had. Did you put the best into your work? Did you put the best into communicating? Did you put the best into your self-care within yourself? Being there to listen and recognize what you're feeling, addressing yourself, really creating a relationship, with yourself, because sometimes we can forget to do that. And you could fall into people pleasing more than you wanted to, but to be able to recognize that you are literally working on yourself, and you're not able to help anybody unless you help yourself. So like that to me makes me feel like a man, knowing that I've put that into, you know what I'm saying, put that effort into myself and striving to be, like I said, a better person, the best way that I can. Did the advice, did anything that I share with the people that I value, was it something that was going to uplift them, or was it something that's going to tear them down? And that's where you have to draw the line between being a pessimist, a realist, and then remember to put yourself, it's not making that about you. You might have limits for yourself if you were in that situation, but that other person may have more, may not have the same limits as you, and they want to go further. So I like to, again, inspire and encourage whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if I don't believe I can do it, I'm not you. I'm not you. So I'd love to find out if your ass can do it, and then I'll be inspired by that. But it's just having that mindset, man. Like, really just wanting to encourage those around you to find their best self each day. That to me makes me feel like a man too, knowing I had that influence. Again, ego, just a little bit of that ego, knowing that person wanted to better themselves just a little bit more, believed in themselves a little bit more for simply whatever conversation that we had. I think that's pretty dope, man. Again, the bosses want you to, as a statement, as the saying goes, bosses want you to see how powerful they are, but leaders want you to see how powerful you are. And I try to keep that principle in mind whenever I talk to people, is like recognizing your own gifts, recognizing your own power, and not allowing someone to try to shit on what you got going on, regardless of what that is, man. Like, who am I to say that it's not going to work? I don't know enough to be a pessimist. It very well may work for you, even though it didn't work for me, because I might not have tried as much. I didn't want it as bad as you did. I wasn't as stubborn, ambitious, determined, or whatever synonym you need to get it done. Some people will look at you and be like, well, why don't you give up on that dream? And it's because they are projecting their limits onto you. And you very well may have a lot more in you, a lot left to see before you decide to say that this is it. So, just try to encourage that. But being able to encourage, being able to influence, being able to inspire, that to me makes me feel like a man. I'll say that. Those types of things. And like just little shit. And it's not about praise or recognition, you know what I'm saying, like on a public standpoint, but to know that you had a hand in planting a seed in someone to see in themselves that they could do whatever task is, I think that's the gift that keeps on giving, right? That's what, to me, that's what makes me feel like, that's parts of the things that make me feel like a man. What's a Halloween moment that sticks out to you? A Halloween moment that sticks out to me is probably back in 2011. Yeah, 2011. It was a second time coming back to Miami after I moved to North Carolina, right? Yeah, I moved to North Carolina, took a job up there at Pope Army Airfield, and I came down really just to, I was chasing the scene. I really was. That's back when I was caught up in the hype of the city, and anybody living there that's not from there will know what it's like to be bit by that bug. But I was coming back. It was me, my best friend, his wife at the time, his brother, and also a mutual, definitely a best friend of mine as well, his brother. But we went out and we went to the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale, and we went to Passions, and they had like a Halloween party. But it was like it was just a chill night. There's this guy in there, with his shirt off, and he kept mean mugging all of us, like all the guys and whatnot. And we just kept looking, we just kept looking around and whatnot. It just seemed like, I don't know, we just didn't know what was about to happen. It was like this short Latin cat or whatever. He had to be no more than 5'7", 5'6", and he just was, I know he's just mean mugging everybody. So the fellas that were all together, we just kind of a barrier to like, yo, anything jump off, man, we gonna make sure it's good. But his friend came up and was like, yo, my man's drunk, don't sweat it. And then on top of that, we also had some like it was a cat fight, it was some girls in there fighting as well. But all in all, I mean, it was more verbal than anything else, you know what I'm saying? Alcohol gets involved. But what really makes it sticks out is that I was with the people that I loved, and I realized how much I missed Miami in that moment and how bad I wanted to get back to live there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just really missed the people, I really missed my people. And after I had moved, and it kind of made me second guess my decision on a lot of stuff. But overall, we had a really good time, a lot of dancing, you know what I'm saying? And the main stage where they played top 40, and the other Latin room where they just played like bachata. It was a good time there, but that's a Halloween moment that sticks out to me. Do you think everyone has a purpose in this life? No. And who's to say that we are to have a purpose? I believe that there is parts of us that just want to do so. There's people, there's people in this life that literally just get up and just live, man. And they're not really trying to get goals. And that doesn't make them a bad person, good person, whatever it is. I just think that this life offers us a lot of opportunity to do certain things, and it's really just up to that person and what they want to do. As for me, like being able to run this show, I find to be purpose, because one, is therapeutic for me. I'm able to get all the things inside my head out so that I don't keep that shit trapped in there. And two, what it does, my story may inspire others, to recognize, to see themselves in it. Now, as far as like making a fortune from it, that is yet to be decided. But if I'm in it for the money, then I'm in it for the ineffective reason, I believe. So it's just understanding that this is my give back to, I want to say, God and his universe and how he carries out things. I don't necessarily say that I have been, I'm not want to say whether I've been chosen or whatnot. All I know is that I decided, I took it upon myself to put myself in a position to where I could create something that would inspire others to think. I'm not able to change anyone, but I can make them think, if anything. And I believe that creates the conversation. And from a conversation, you can decide whatever you want to do with oneself after such. You very well can watch this and be very critical of me and be like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And that's your prerogative, and that's okay. You can do such. You may watch this, you may say nothing. You may watch this and be like, you know what? I felt inspired. You know what? I may start something the same way. Whatever it is, but as far as like, does a person have to have purpose? No, and I don't believe it's for any of us to shit on anybody who does not have a purpose in life. I mean, there's so many things to live for. And one of those things is just life itself. You can just live. You don't have to. I mean, I think this is a construct that we've created in a popular sense, where we have to become something to be something, right? But you don't have to do anything. I truly believe that. Now, as far as like garnering respect, I do believe that in order to have a certain respect from your peers, there is a certain effort that goes into it. Now, there are people that can just sit and do nothing, and it doesn't make you better than them, but by doing nothing, you get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like and you have to accept that. Like if I'm to do nothing with my life, if I were to do nothing, I left nowhere. I never left the house, the curb, wherever my living situation is, I never left. And then I was pissed off because nobody talked to me. Well, I never engaged. I didn't put forth any effort in communication with someone. And I'm not to be upset at that because it's my effort that was returned. I put no effort, I get no effort. So as far as what a purpose goes, yes, you can have purpose. Do you have to have a purpose? I don't believe everyone has to have a purpose. That's up to you as far as like what's inside of you and what you want to put forth on your time while you're here. What's going to be the difference between the dash on your tombstone, whatever year you were born and in the year that you die, what's going to be in the middle? You can decide that. You can decide if that means something or if you just want to live until it's time for that to come. And that's up to you. But that's not for us to tear a person down, feel superior to someone because of what they did with their life. That's their life. I mean, what I'm doing, someone could perceive it as I'm doing nothing. And I can perceive it as I'm putting forth a lot of fucking effort weekly, daily to ensure that I create a product that is inspirational, that touches lives, that impacts lives, touches me for that matter. Being able to feel, like I said, that therapeutic feeling that I get from being able to discuss thoughts that arise in my mind. And sometimes being found to be a hypocrite. Because if you've watched from the beginning, my thoughts in the beginning of when this thing started might have shifted years later as far as my view on things. And that's what happens, live long enough to see yourself become a hypocrite. That's a Nikki Giovanni quote, but being able to live that long to where you want to see yourself become the hypocrite and the villain, of course, as they say in The Dark Knight too, live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And because not everything you do is people are going to be okay with, and you have to be okay with them not being okay with you. And I think that's what makes the difference. I think that's when you really become a man. I think that's when you become a woman, when you learn to live for self, right? You learn to live for self, and you're not really concerned about a person's approval of what you want to do with your life, as long as it doesn't. For me, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do whatever you want to do in this life as long as you don't project that, that pain out. And some do, some don't. But it's really just life, and life goes on either way. And that's the beauty of like amor fati, just accepting it the way that it is. So purpose, right? Purpose is, I truly believe purpose is something that some of us just feel. We just feel the need that I'm going to go out and do this. I'm going to seek this. And then you achieve it. And that's what you work towards. You work towards achieving said purpose, said goal. And not everyone has to understand it. It wasn't meant for them. The purpose that you wanted was for you. So when you have your mind set on something and someone is critical of it, let them. It has nothing to do with them. They don't know your powers. They don't know what you're capable of. Your fears don't even know what you're capable of. For that matter, it's just remembering to move forward. Continue to move forward, even though you're not able to see the steps in the dark. Walking upstairs is really what it is, man. It's like believing in yourself, having that faith. And we all have that in us, that strength, that the power, the effort to work towards whatever it is that we want to do. And some find a way, some give up, some don't do anything, and that's still life, regardless, on all of those scenarios that was just listed, it's still life. And that's really all this is, man. It's just remember to live life. Life is itself a mystery. And we think we have everything all figured out. And then something comes into our life that shocks the shit out of us. And now we're taught, now we have to learn a new way of living based on this new information, whatever that is. And whether it be, family members that have ascended, whether it be breakups, whether it be, lost a job, and whatever it is, it's just we're learning to just deal with life as it comes, man. And yeah, we can have plans, we can have goals and purposes and all of that stuff, but be willing to take the hits that come with it. And that's the thing. A lot of us are not prepared for the hits, and then we tend to stay down because we fear failure. But we got a lot more in us. And the beauty of, like, I believe where I am with my purpose is just it's me being shown what I can take as I keep moving forward and seeing different things thrown at me, along the way. And then also being reminded as to why that I do this. And it comes from the most random people. And I'm very grateful. I will tell you this, I'm very grateful that strangers, and not say that people that know you are not valued as well, but when a stranger can recognize what your intent is with doing this program, and it's uplifting. It's it comes at a time where you just feel like giving up. A lot of times, like there's going to be a lot of times where you just those emotions that come in your mind, like I really don't want to do this shit no more. What have I got myself into? Imposter syndrome and whatever whatever else comes to mind that is just trying to talk you out of getting those things that you want in life. You know what I mean? Whether it be purpose, whether it be a goal, whether it be some kind of saving up to get something thrown at you. Life is just trying to test you to see how bad that you want it. And I'm just grateful for this life, right? I'm grateful for the people on stage, depending on what scene I'm in life, that help me get through said scene. They may not be in the entire play, the entire movie, but very grateful for them for being on stage with me to carry out the scene, so that we can move on to the next act in our life. And it's just those things that you think about, right? And sending everyone positive and healing energy, and remembering to have grace with everybody, even yourself. Showing forgiveness for oneself, showing forgiveness for others, as they did the best they could with what they had, and people were projecting. So, and it's nothing to take personal, but to close out the question as far as like, does everyone need a purpose in this life? I don't believe so. I don't believe that everyone requires a purpose, but for those who choose to do it, just know that you'll be sent the tools, the strength, the fortitude, the effort to carry it out as long as you believe that you can. That is something that I will say that I've learned on this experience and doing this shit, and just moving through life with purpose, and you get out of life what you put into it. So the effort that you put forth in your life, it will come back to you. That's for damn certain. And the lack of effort that you put into your life will come back to you as well. So how much are you willing to put in to maximize the opportunities in this life? But nevertheless, another episode completed. This is Romy Mac, and I'm out. Good night, kids.